Guys, welcome back to my channel once again. This is Shades of My Day. Today we'll be continuing our series of creating social media posters. Creating what you guys see mostly online. I'll be trying to recreate those images and dropping the free PSD for you guys to use. So please do well to subscribe and to get more of this content. So today we'll be working on this Friday vibes flyer. Is very simple. So let me open a new page. Control N for new. So I use 2000 by 2000 pixel. So what I did was to I added this background here. You had gradient. You will unlock it like this, then come here and write gradient overlay. So what I used was my usual color. I think I used this. Oh, sorry. Normal opacity 100. So I used that gradient. I changed the blend mode to radial, so it will reflect from the inside. Or you can decide to use any one you want. It's varies as regards the type of design you want to do. So you can even do linear too. So what I did next was to create a new layer. On my keyboard I press B for brush. My foreground color set to yellow, so you can click yellow here, make yellow bright, yellow here, click on yellow, click OK. You would increase your brush well. You can tap once, V to move on your keyboard, then press Ctrl T to transform. So you can expand like this to have that radial feel in between. That's how I got this. As you can see, the layer here. You can see it's breaking up. Then what I did next was to bring in this image. Let me make it normal for you. I got this background online. So if you increase the opacity now, you see that it's overshadowing the design, and we don't want that. So what you can do is bring in this background, Control V. You can place it like this, change the blend mode to probably lighting or even luminosity, anyone you want, or even overlay if you want overlay. So it will give you that kind of feel. So you can reduce the opacity here, you can see some lines here. That's what we want to achieve. Some lines here, that's what we want to achieve. So what we'll do next is we'll bring in this image. Don't let me go too far. Let me just do it very fast. So what I did was to work on this image. I used quick selection tool to change the color of the clothes by selecting the clothes. Well, I think I've taught you that in my other video. Please check my other video that I just dropped, the other one. You will see how to change color of clothes to blend the background. You will see it there. It's very simple. Then I added shadow. You can see shadow to this text. You can see the shadow here. So it will make it look like this text is standing on the floor. So it will be behind the text. The shadow will be behind. You can see I removed the shadow here. So how to create shadow? What you do is on your keyboard, let's change it back to black. On your keyboard, create a new layer. Create a new layer on your keyboard. New layer. Then press B for brush. You can use the brush like this. You can tap once. V. Let me switch off this one first. Then Ctrl T on your keyboard. You expand expand, something like this, reduce it. There are different ways to achieve this though. There are different ways to achieve this. You can control T again, you can reduce the extent, you can reduce it, you can reduce this. Make sure the text is behind the make sure the shadow is behind the text, so it will have this kind of reflection on it. Can reduce it to the minimal size, so minimal opacity. So what I did here was the same thing I did to this image. You can see this thing here. I did the same thing here for this image too. So it's very simple. You can actually tilt it any way you want. It's very simple. And now for this here, what I did was to create a rectangle, and I added stroke to the rectangle, I added stroke to it, and I reduced the opacity. Then I added noise to the shape. Let me show you what I did here. Rectangle like this. Rectangle, you can change the color to white. Okay. Now come to your stroke. You can decide to use, I use the gradient. You can use color if you want, but me I use gradient. Then click OK. Then what I did next was to come to my filter, noise, add noise. It will ask you if you want to convert to smart object. You say yes, then you add little noise, then you reduce the opacity a little bit to around 86 or something. Yes, 91. You see the same thing. So it's very simple. So please